Hello. So, yeah, we're back on the 4th generation i7 Linux machines, Debian 12, of course, bookworm. I have no real need to try anything else, excluding, of course, me wonderful Mio Linux, which I've got upstairs. Everything else, barring a couple of Windows machines and a Chromebook, which I'll get round to in a bit. Everything's Debian 12 bookworm, because it just does everything that I really need it to do. Yeah, I've got 2 machines currently that are running Windows 10, and the reason I've got them running Windows 10 is for 2 reasons. One of which is so that I can download the latest builds of Windows 10 should I wish to install it. I'll keep that on a laptop just for that sole purpose, but I've got a desktop machine which is running Windows 10, which I had my Ableton Live on, which I've got my Ableton Live on. But you know what, the years go past and either the software's getting far more complex or I'm getting far more thick, but either way Ableton just seems to be beyond me now. There's new ways of doing things, enhancements no doubt, but I'm just finding it harder and harder to get along with. I'm actually now to the point, as I was making that Ever Onward track, I'm more comfortable using LMMS. And the thing that always used to get me about LMMS was I could get a nice little section that I thought was sounding really nice, and I wanted to duplicate that, you know, sort of like the old verse chorus, middle 8, verse chorus, end. Copy paste is absolutely vital in order to copy a chunk of the timeline further on, and I hadn't got any idea of how to do that. I was laboriously taking piece upon piece upon piece of the track, and yeah, I'm hiding most of this stuff, aren't I? Piece upon piece of the track, I was laboriously left click, control, dragging to copy it. I've got it on repeat, hang on. Okay, so that's what I was doing. If I wanted this bit, I'd probably have to scroll all the way back, grab it, control drag it. Now, of course, I thought it really can't be lacking such a simple thing as copying and pasting a whole chunk of the timeline, and it ain't. I'm just too stupid to have searched and found it out. You just grab this, you drag your marquee, and with your little hand there and everything selected, you control drag that. It just looks like you're dragging one bit, which is probably what used to put me off, and then you paste there and you've took the whole part. So and that's as easy as it is. It's just simply that. So like I say, I'm finding myself much more comfortable using this now that I know that I can copy and paste chunks and move them about at will. It's amazing what a little bit of searching will do for it, but there's precious little as goes help, online help. Yeah, it takes you to here. Welcome to LMMS, blah 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 blah. It doesn't really tell you all that much, or at least it didn't when I used to look. I didn't get an awful lot of joy out of that. But yeah, so the upshot of this is I've really got no reason to stay on Windows on a desktop. Now recently I bought a second-hand i3, 4th or 5th generation i3, with a 1050 card in it, and it cost me like £110, £120, and that's a really nice machine, really nice case, lights up beautifully. It's got the 1050 GTX 1050 Ti already in there. It's a fast enough processor. I think it's got 16 gigs of RAM, and it's really nice, and it's got Windows 10 on it, and now it no longer needs to have Windows 10 on it, so it probably won't have in a week or so. Because the boxes that I've got, the actual desktop boxes that I've got, are not all that great. One's a cast off from work, one is an old cobbled together machine that I built up out of parts that were donated a couple of years, or probably about 3 or 4 years ago by now, from people on the previous channel. And yeah, that's getting a little bit ropey. And then I've got the satellite machine, which is pretty noisy. And I've got that other machine, which I think I made a video of a long time ago, with the built-in AMD GPU with its own little heatsink, which is no great shakes. And boy oh boy, the fans are noisy. Not rattly noisy, they're just noisy fans. Sounds a bit like a hairdryer. No fault of the machine. It's just a noisy fan. I suppose I could change them out though. But yeah, it's looking like I really don't need to be on Windows very much at all. Now, as goes the Chromebooks, I went and got one. I jumped on the bandwagon. Toss Today, Total OS Today, Carmine, he's got one, swears by it. EB, he's got a couple, swears by them. And everything you've heard about Chromebooks is true. The battery life is absolutely phenomenal. It really is. I think mine at the minute, I charged it about 3 weeks ago. I've still got like 63% battery, and that's guaranteeing me another 9 hours of use. So that's not to be sniffed at, but you are essentially locked in to the Google sphere. Now, I'm not a fan of Google, but I've got an Android phone, so I'm in the Google sphere already. If you've got an Android phone, you're in the Google sphere too. Now, if you're going to take a laptop out with you, you might as well be in the Google sphere, because everything will be reliant on being online, and you'll probably want to do things that you can then sync either with your phone or something that you could later download on your home machines. And you'll want something where the battery's going to be long lasting. So for those purposes, Chromebooks are really, really good. And I know you can enable Linux mode or something, but of course it is Linux basically, but it's incredibly locked down Linux. My machine isn't powerful enough to do anything like gaming, and I wouldn't want to do gaming on it, but I think it's okay for like on the train, on the bus, good God, as if you're going to be able to work on the bus, on the train, on a coach perhaps, on a plane. It's fine. Anywhere you've got like a connection, and you just want to do things that you would be trying to do on your little phone, but you want a keyboard and you want a bigger screen and you want a bigger work area and you want better ease of getting around things. I can't really use apps on a mobile phone, can you? I guess a lot of folk who are used to them can, but not me. Nah, it's just weird. I want a keyboard and I want a touchpad, you know. So yeah, I've got one of those, but it's essentially just basically a mobile phone without a SIM. And it's got all my Android apps and Chrome store apps that you can get as well, but they're very few and far between. But when you get it and you get just the operating system, it's pretty much got everything you'd need to write a letter, send emails, browse the web, do all that stuff, make a spreadsheet. It's all there as long as you've got the internet connection. And there are some things for Chrome OS that you can use offline as well. So, I mean, if you haven't got a signal, there's some things that you can carry on with your work on. So anyway, yeah. basically, it looks like I'm de-Windowsifying myself again. Obviously, I have to use it at work, and it annoys the hell out of me that I do, but you can't pick and choose the operating system that your company needs to run its software, can you? Yeah. I've been having a bit of fun with the Bing AI chat thing that springs out the side of the Edge browser. I've just been trying to boggle it and bugger its algorithm up. Every time I open it, I ask it information about socks. So it's got me now profiled as somebody who's passionate about socks. You take your fun where you can get it, don't you? Anyway, I don't know. A little bit of an update. Debian 12 across the board. A little bit of Chrome OS. One instance of Windows, just for the sake of updating my pen drive in case I want to install it, in case there's one amazing bit of software that I desperately feel that I need to use that will only run on Windows. But I'm not sure that'll happen. Anyway, that was enough out of me. Just a bit of chit chat, just a bit of a catch up. Hopefully getting back on the straight and narrow now. Finished clearing out my dad's flat. It's now empty. The keys are getting handed in tomorrow. That chapter, barring the scattering of the ashes, is over now. It's been tough, but you get through it. It's life, isn't it? Anyway, ta-da.